Hello again, this is Douglas Lucky Larson on the Retire Early and Often channel. I am in Florida, and I just enjoyed an incredible conference over the weekend, the Rebel Capitalist live event done by George Gammon, and it was really fantastic. But we learned that, yes, the world is on fire. So let's talk about this just a little bit and some of the great guests that were there. I will talk individually about some of the things I learned and what to do with the information. It's not enough just to simply learn stuff, but you need to know what you can do about it. If there's one thing that I might say about some of the incredible, intelligent people that we learned from over the weekend, it's that they're fantastic at pulling back the figurative curtain to show you who the Wizard of Oz really is, and whether it's Joan Powell or whoever's really controlling Joe Biden or whatever it might be. You know, it's one thing to know that something is going on. There's more than meets the eye, but it's another to then be able to formulate a plan to better protect yourself, to better be able to weather the storms that are on the horizon. Sorry about the shades. It's bright out here. This is Florida. And sorry about the little ambient noise, but I really did want to post from a beautiful location, and here we are. If you can see right behind me here, what do we got? Yeah, there's a causeway up and over to the beach, and I'm just sitting in a little gazebo in a park. It's just a beautiful location where I'm at. This is Ormond Beach, but the conference was held in Miami, and that's a cool place as well. Next slide. So here was the lineup of all these incredible speakers, and we're just going to take a closer look at some of these. You know these names. You know these names better than you know me. Lynette Zhang, Mark Moss, Chris Martinson, Jason Hartman, George Gammon, Ken McElroy, Robert Kiyosaki. Anybody ever heard of him? Yeah, I thought so. Steve Van Meter, the Bond King. Brent Johnson, he's known for his dollar milkshake theory. If you don't know about that, you better learn. Joseph Wang, he's a former Fed trader, and dude knows his stuff from the inside. Jeff Snyder, he and Emil Kalinowski have a great YouTube channel where they break down all the economics of our day, and they really pull back the curtain. And then Doug Casey. Now I gotta say, this picture of Doug Casey, if you're seeing this on my screen, he doesn't look like that now. He's much older, and he's a little bit cranky. But he is one of the ones that will definitely tell you that the world is burning down. He's got some ideas of some things you can do about it, but for the most part, you and me cannot really influence the global elites, the central planners, all the people who are really pushing and pulling on the levers of power. You know, the George Soroses of the world. Thank goodness that guy's really old. Hopefully he doesn't have too many people that will take his place. Long story short, if there's anything to learn, if there's anything that I remember from this great conference and all of the details, the charts, the graphs, the look behind the scenes at the Fed and what they're really doing, better charts and graphs about what's really going on in real estate from a demand and supply and demographic perspective. If there's anything that I learned, it's that there is a wealth transfer going on from the lowest income earners, and that might be 60-70% of the population of the US, and it's probably more like 85, 90, 95% of the rest of the world, you know, especially in third world countries. But any pennies that they have are flowing out of their hands and into the hands of either governments, central banks, or their friends and cronies, or the global elites, the people who run all the big and giant corporations. And now, it's not that you want to say, if you can't beat them, join them. It's just that you need to know where the money flows and frustrations and everything are flowing, so that you can get out of the way of, let's say, violent mobs. And you can also better protect yourself and prepare yourself for some of the other troubles that may come. Energy shortages, food shortages, and the United States is very well positioned to be able to literally take food out of the mouths of places like Sri Lanka, or fuel out of places like Sri Lanka. And in Sri Lanka right now, they are standing in line for days to try to get just a little bit of fuel, even for the most basic services. What is that going to mean? The United States and most of the people in the United States can pay a little more, even double, for some of those basic life-sustaining commodities. But other places around the world, the people cannot. And they will literally starve in the coming months and years. And you need to know, again, maybe how you can help. Maybe how you can organize, some relief in some way, but also how to protect yourself and your family from some of the negative domino effects that will come our way. If gas prices go another double higher from where they are right now, they may not. It may take a few months, or it may take a few years, but there is a finite supply of energy. Especially in the form of fossil fuels. And, the alternatives, the wind and the solar and many of those, they're just not ready for prime time. We're just not ready to just start up some magic solar generators that have been, sitting dormant until now, or have just been invented and are now ready to flip that switch. It's not happening. And so we need to be ready for what may come. Again, we may be able to, in the short term, just kind of muddle through. But in the next 2, 3, 5, even 10 years, some of these brilliant minds are telling us, be ready, because bad things are coming. My takeaway again is not just to learn, but to then formulate a plan. Now, for some people, that plan might be start with the absolute basics. Why don't you make yourself a little less fragile, a little more anti-fragile, a little more resilient, as Chris Martenson talks about, with things like some food storage and some water, and maybe prepare yourself to maybe have to be off-grid. A couple solar panels and a couple of battery backup generators might work. Just to be able to run some of the basics. You may not be able to have AC in the summer or run every appliance in your house to full capacity, but if you've got some, nice and quiet backup solutions for power, you can live fairly comfortably while everybody else is really struggling. There may be some other things that you can do. Lynette Zhang and a Doug Casey and a couple others might say, put up to 10% of your money in some gold and silver. They may, trade sideways for a while, but eventually they're going to be in more and more demand. And if you had the physical form of, actual gold coins or some silver or things, you may have some barter ability that nobody else has. Lynette Zhang will also tell you that along with housing security and physical security of your own person and your family, you may want to also have some barter ability in some, if you think about buying extra food, not just enough for yourself, but maybe to trade with other people. She says she's developing a compound where literally she could house up to 40 people. Mark Moss says he's got a place in Texas, a ranch, if you followed him at all, and he said he may be able to house as many as 100 people, but there's no way they're going to just welcome the masses to come and hang out. You better have some skills or something to trade. Maybe you can work on cars. Maybe you can, be a security detail, and you've got, some military training. But if you don't have something to trade, whether it's a skill or literal, food and other materials, you're not going to be welcome in places where they are protecting themselves. Now, nobody's talking about an absolute zombie apocalypse in the United States, but there are some people that are very nervous that over the coming next 1, 2, 3, 5 years, and certainly by 10 years from now, things may look very different, drastically different than they do right now. What have you done to prepare and protect yourself? So we'll go into more details on some other other things. I just wanted to do just a little bit of a mind dump on some of the things while they were still fresh in my mind from this last weekend. Now I'm going to go surfing again. So anyway, all good. We'll talk to you later. And please like, subscribe, and share. Sure appreciate when you give me a thumbs up and share this information with other people. We like to grow the channel. We like to be able to reach more people. I'm not getting a dime for this, but I've got some knowledge, and I think it's been helpful to many people who give me feedback. And if it's been helpful to you, please like and share and subscribe, and we'll keep bringing you some information. Thanks so much, and hope to see you on the next video.